All right, we are live, and the New York Mets have got us feeling feelings again after 2 months of just being down in the dumps. All it takes is the city of brotherly love coming to town into the House of Horrors. How we feeling, boys?
Dude, Citi Field has become a legit place I'm like proud of, like a real home field advantage where I'm like, yo, if you're coming to City, you better be ready. And if it's the Phillies, it's like a guaranteed W these days. I can't wait. Let's play Philly again. Let's go.
We got Philly fans saying that we must be cheating at this point. They're going into the parabolic mics. We'll get into it. But today's episode, as always, presented by Coors Light. We got myself, KFC Meek, Clem for the first time in 6+ years is on vacation, but he's not in Kunsalina. He's on vacation time. He's on mountain time. And that's thanks to Coors Light. We believe in juggling work, family, and the busyness of summer in general. And it's easy to feel the pressure, but that doesn't mean we have to lose our chill. There are plenty of chances to make life better by choosing chill. Grab every opportunity to choose chill and reach for refreshing Coors Light. When the mountains turn blue, it's as cold as the Rockies. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. When you embrace the chill mindset, it's a good time to choose chill and crack open a Coors Light. Coors Light is mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. New Yorkers, choose chill, choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/believe. That's CoorsLight.com/believe. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Those ad reads ain't so easy, are they?
They are not. It is a mouthful.
Everybody takes them for granted. They're not exactly easy.
Clem's a one-take guy, too. When he sends the social reads, I'm like, my God, how did you do it?
It's legit robot.
Yo, I'm not going to do what I always do when we come off of a good stretch, which is very rarely, by the way. When was the last time we had a good episode?
Literally June.
Yeah.
Like
months since we had a good episode, and usually I get very excited. I say a lot of nice things. Not here. Not today. Not for me. You're not going to hear from me. I think that was a mediocre series at best. I don't think Nolan McLean is the future. I don't love him with all of my heart for saving this season and sparking this team. Nope, not me. Not going to hear it.
Yeah, he's definitely not a savior. We didn't ask him to be a savior.
Nope.
You know what? And like the comparisons are already rolling in. You said DeGrom Harvey-esque. He does have that aura. He's a football guy where it's like, I need a guy that's going to bear down and just be like, my shit moves this fucking far. Good luck trying to hit it. It does not matter. He threw like 70 pitches through 7 innings. I triple checked the count. I'm like, there's no way that's right. If
he didn't run into a little bit of trouble in the 7th, he would have gone 9, and he would have done it with like 85 pitches. It's crazy.
Yo, I don't think he threw his 10th ball to like the 5th inning.
Some of his most impressive pitches weren't even outs. Like the pitch against Bryce Harper that he fouled off was one of the nastiest pitches I've ever fucking seen in my life. Somehow Bryce Harper hit it like straight down. Some of the movement on those pitches were unbelievable. I do think it matters that he was a two-way player and a football guy, so he's not this like pussy pitcher baseball player. Like he is raring to go. He was screaming with Citi Field. And for real, he will have a special place in my heart forever, no matter what happens here. Down the stretch, whatever. We know the season has been up and down, but if in general all of this goes in a good direction through 26, and if there's baseball in 27, I will always remember Nolan McLean as the guy, the first one. Like hopefully the Canadian Cannon is next. We'll talk about Jonah Tong in a minute, but like that will always mean something to me. That it's like when the ship was fucking sinking and the house was on fire, in came Nolan McLean to save the day, and he seems like. I don't know. This doesn't even seem like a fluke. This doesn't seem like he seems like a gangster, like a bad man. It's got to be so embarrassing for the veterans, no? Like, you guys can't get out of like the 4th fucking inning, and this guy comes cruising in, throws 8 like it's nothing. Hopefully it inspires, some of these old men to get going too.
That's honestly like a testament to that's why you want to bring up your guys through the farm system, because it's a different mentality. You get him young and you're like, he's not broken yet. We're bringing in these other guys, like they've gone through other farm systems, other like problems and issues, and now they're trying to adjust like the Mets mindset, and they can't do it. So it's like, I love Logan Webb for the Giants. I've been begging and pleading for a guy who just pitches the contact and can still throw 90. He throws 96. Mm-hmm. But like the biggest thing, and like that's why he kind of gets those DeGrom comparisons, is like the ball moves so much, or even like I saw Kevin Brown and like Maddox comparisons. It moves so much that he knows he can just pitch to contact.
Yeah.
Like that's all. And that's all you need. That is so much more valuable than throwing 102 Ryan Helsley that right down the middle as flat as can be.
Meek, what do you think?
He's the savior. Like I said, it was like, oh, we're not asking him to be saviors. Like, no, like now you're a savior. We went 2 months, or whatever it was, without another guy other than David Peterson going 6 innings. His last 2 starts have been 7 and 8 innings. He was out away from going 6 innings in his first start. Like, he's made pitching look so goddamn easy.
You know what it is? It's watching baseball again.
Yeah.
Like the way God intended it. We're getting to watch an actual baseball game.
It's like, wait, the bullpen isn't warming up in the 4th inning? Like, this is like normal.
Dude, there was nothing worse these last 4 months of like, you know, a usual baseball experience, even let's say as a Mets fan, where the bullpen has been a nightmare for our entire lives, basically. You know, you're like, oh my God, who's going to pitch the 7th? How are we going to get to Benitez? How are we going to get to Looper? How are we going to get to Diaz? And you're worried about the 7th and 8th, sometimes the 6th. It is unnatural to be in the 3rd inning of a baseball game and be like, who's warming up? I mean, that is not the way you're supposed to watch baseball. It's a bad enough sport as is. And you're doing this, it's unwatchable.
Stearns actually admitted to it too. He went on, I think Heyman's podcast or whatever, and he's like, "Listen, like I built this team to throw 5 innings." He's like, "They're throwing 4 innings. Like we are in trouble. Like
different.
We're not asking much, guys. 5 innings. We're paying you hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, can you just get to the 5th inning?" And we couldn't do it. And it's like, I couldn't believe that he's the first Mets pitcher ever to win his first 3 games, and he's got the lowest ERA of any Mets pitcher through his first 3 games. Like that's insane.
And
well, the ERA part, I believe. The ERA part, I believe. It's only like, what, 2 runs?
The one thing the Mets have, and I don't know how they just always do it because it's different years, different regimes, up seasons, down seasons. They just always churn out pitching. And that gives me hope, too, that it's like not a fluke and not a one-time thing. And, you know, I know we've had our beef with the Hefner and the lab recently, but like, I can't imagine a better place right now with the history, the current management, all of that. It's got to be a great place to come up as a young pitcher where you just kind of feel like, well, they did it with DeGrom and Harvey and Matz and Wheeler and you go back to fucking Seaver. It's like they've always pretty much churned this out. I was trying to think, are there other teams, like, is there an offensive equivalent of like someone who just always churns out bats, or another team even that always churns out pitchers the way like we do historically?
I feel like there was a time where the Rays used to just get picked apart. So like they were the farm system for all the other teams who didn't have farm systems.
Cleveland was like that for a while too, I think.
Yeah.
So I mean that having that reputation it gives me even more hope, and the fact that he has the stuff, seemingly has like the makeup, like baseball is weird. You don't want too much emotion, but I think no emotion, you end up with just a bunch of soft, like, I'm going to throw 3 innings and that's okay. Yeah. So right now, and then, I mean, we were joking with Jonah Tong when we had our interview. I was like, you ready to come up? And everyone was kind of chuckling. And every time I pressed him on when he thinks he's going to come up, he wouldn't really give a straight answer. I think he was probably just as surprised as anybody else, but I don't know, man. If he's even half as good as McLean, and then you just added, 2/5 of your rotation in the middle in the middle of the playoff push, like that's a real fucking difference maker if they're both good.
He might be our game 2 starter. McLean game 1.
Can you imagine if we make the playoffs and our 1-2 are guys who have been here for 7 starts?
I mean, it's weird too because he's only thrown 2 games in AAA, but they look at those numbers and they look at what McLean was doing there. Honestly, they kept him down for too long. Like he easily.
I think that's what encouraged Tong is like. Yeah. Even let's say, I mean, nobody was going to be like bring up McLean in May or June. That's just that was on nobody's mind. And really, even bringing him up, like as much as I was like, we're dying and I need help, I really was of the mind of like, don't mess with them if you really think you got something there. But even if he came up a couple weeks earlier and got like 2 or 3 more starts in, could have made a real difference. I wonder if they were just like, well, we're not gonna hold on too long again. Let's just see what we got with Tom. What's the age and experience difference on those two?
Tom, I think he has to be like 22. Let me just
I
double
think
check
Tom's
that.
22, McLean's 24.
4, right?
Yeah.
So like, but they both like just like how long has McLean been in AAA?
He was drafted in 2023. He's been AAA since like May or so.
Okay, and Tom like just went up to AAA like
Yeah, like two weeks ago.
It's not like that. It's not that crazy, right? It's not like it was like I don't know.
Yeah.
I just have hope that like I'm not going to put the pressure on him to be like I expect 8 shutout innings and 3 wins and the best start in franchise history. But again, if it's even close, that changes the whole dynamic of everything.
Also, like Stearns is never a guy who's going to do something out of emotion. Like if it wasn't like Alvarez had to get called up out of necessity back when he got called up and Stearns wasn't even here. But like if it's a situation like that where we're like we just don't have any pitchers, we have to call this guy up. I don't even think Stearns would do that. He'd be like, let's just go get somebody, pull somebody up. Right. I'm not going to ruin his development. Yeah. But like it's crazy to say that as much as McLean was like dominating and now up here dominating, Tom's numbers are even better.
I know
in the minors when you're comparing the two of them, which is just wild.
And it's so funny having talked to him a little bit. Just makes me view him like so differently because I'm like, you don't know what a guy's like until you talk to him, and knowing like how calm and mild mannered he is. If he's nasty, it's gonna be even better to me because he's like this wholesome Canadian dude, you know, like every time we kind of pressed him a little bit or brought up something that made him uncomfortable, he was like a little bit like awkward about it. And if that motherfucker's out there just mowing guys down, like, yeah, this is what I do. You know, he's talking about how he just like plays video games and like eats dinner with his girlfriend. And she's like, yeah, this guy is just a baseball dork and he is fucking your shit up. So good, man. I mean, what a difference that makes. Like, I can't tell you. I mean, I think everyone's on board here. But again, having watched the sport my whole life, it's like I can't watch it. I can't watch this brand of baseball they've been playing for so long. Getting to watch just a regular start. That game, this series was unbelievable. That middle game to me was one of like my favorite games I've ever watched in my life. Like it had it all. It had some downs. Soto getting caught looking, the Helsley implosion. Like it wasn't all gravy, but like that had a playoff atmosphere. That had like a movie atmosphere, back and forth, like the whole 9. It's like fun to watch baseball again, which it's been a long time that I could say that.
It's weird when you're happy that Philly's coming to town because you just know that it gets all the juices flowing for all these guys. Like, and also Starling Marte.
Oh,
if Marte can be the guy who's going to plug in and just be like his old self at 36 years old. Sodo had an article. He came out. He's like, no, he's the leader in the clubhouse. Like he's not the official captain. He is the captain. And I have no problem saying that. And I'm like, if that's all he's bringing to the table, even if he's not playing well, every single player like going to him if they're having issues or like want to know something about like how to conduct yourself as a professional, like already done. Thank you.
He's the man. I hope that we like sign him forever as some, special advisor or some shit. Keep Marte in this organization as long as he wants to be here.
Yeah, imagine being the Phillies trading all those prospects for an elite closer and he can't get out in 9th inning.
So I saw, shout out to my guy Brody's is his name. I actually never heard him say his name. You know that Philly guy?
Hunter Brody?
Yeah. He's awesome. Love him. Oh, my kids are calling me. Hang on a second. He was saying that they think that Duran is tipping pitches. Oh,
Go ahead.
I'll be right back.
I think
oh my God. Somebody better be dead.
But he does think Duran is tipping pitches. I'd imagine. I think Helsley was tipping pitches too in his inning. I think someone had the screenshots of that.
I saw a breakdown with like the way that the thumb of the glove like sticking out. It's very minute, but like the pros
maybe it's something. I would say maybe it's something that is an obvious tell.
Well, I don't know what they're sitting dead red on 102, and he's got the off speed, and like then they're waiting on the off speed or spitting on it. It's like there's got to be some sort of correlation there. 4 straight singles was it to walk it off?
Yeah, 4 straight.
Maybe one was luck. Let's just call that what it is. But he
still worked the count. He got ahead 3-0, 3-1, whatever it was. Like he still worked a good at bat.
I think overall too, when it comes to like the second you have those 2 straight singles and the crowd gets going and like the adrenaline starts pumping, like here we go again. It's usually us that we're dealing with it, but Philly's dealing with it in spades when it comes to them coming to play with us. It's insane.
Yeah, Jack Meck had tweets like, "Oh, Duran ain't scary when he doesn't have his walkout song." So,
what do you think about Helsley? Like in terms of them still using him in the late innings?
I think they have to get him right at some point in order to like be a dangerous team. I don't know how you do it. You have to work him in low leverage spots until he's like ready to go. But you only have a month left of the season to work him in those low leverage spots.
Talking
That's
Helsley.
the thing. Yeah, it's just like if you're gonna put him in, you got to do it in like a laugher where we're up or down. But you just there's no room to lose those games in the 8th inning, and we don't fucking come back after the 8th inning. So
I didn't hate going to him though because like the options were either Diaz for 6 outs, which you can't keep fucking doing that because you're gonna blow his arm out. If you blow his arm out, then you're just dead forever. Or just go back to Tyler Rogers, which who knows how that could work out.
So, first of all, number one, I am revoking Hell's Bells from Helsley until further notice.
Yep.
I don't want to do it. I'm not trying to be an asshole. You cannot do a Hell's Bells entrance. Like even Diaz, anybody who has a closer song, when you do the trumpets, you suck. It's like a little bit awkward and goofy. When you do Hell's Bells, like I'm the fucking Undertaker, I'm here to put you in your grave, and then you stink. It is mortifying. So we got to put a little moratorium on that until further notice. And also, I think Tyler we just need to swap those two. To me, it's like Rogers is the guy that they both were good, but I think people were pumped about Helsley. Rogers is that dude. Helsley is not.
And by the way, I think it's a better setup anyway because you're going slow to fast with Diaz.
Yeah.
Like if you stack them like that, then no one's going to get their timing right. You know what I mean?
And by the way, Edwin Diaz.
Oh.
Bad man. A bad man. He doesn't give a fuck, man. My favorite thing about Diaz this year is in the event, the super rare event that he gives up a hit, a run, a homer, he always turns right to the catcher and he's like, give me the ball, I don't give a fuck. Like, I threw the ball over your head. I missed 3 straight balls, whatever, give it back. Boom, 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 3 straight strikes. Puts the ball in play, covering first. Like, he is doing it all. This is also famous last words. I'm sure something will go wrong now, but I have supreme confidence in that guy. I have not really done a comparison, and I don't think anything really will ever compare to 22, but he's got to be up there even with this season for like one of the best closer seasons he's ever had, right? I mean,
he's allowed like 2 earned runs since like the middle of April or something like ridiculous like that.
I thought it was like 1, and I saw none of his blown saves have resulted in losses. So it's even the times he struggled, no harm, no foul. He is maybe the most important person in my life.
He's got a 1.6 ERA in 50.2 innings pitched. Like he's not striking people out on like the level that he was on that insane season, but he's just as efficient. But
like you said, man, I don't give a shit about that pitch to contact. You know, it's a little different.
If he walks somebody, they might as well just walk to third base too, because he doesn't hold anybody.
That's the one knock. That's the one knock.
But even that, I know that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
But it just speaks to like I think his mentality is like I don't fucking care. It doesn't matter because the next guys are not getting a hit again.
Yep.
I gave up 1 hit or I gave up 1 walk. The chances of me doing that again in the same inning, 0. I don't give a fuck. It's almost the polar opposite of Taijuan Walker. I was watching him yesterday. Like, yeah, he's got such a great pickoff move. Well, someone's on base every fucking 2 seconds, so he's been practicing it his whole goddamn career. It's the total reverse of Diaz. It's like I don't even know what does that mean? Pickoff. What's a runner on? I don't even know.
And Torrens behind the plate too is like making it close, which shouldn't even be the case because nobody's holding them anywhere near they should be.
The fact that if these are things that I like. Run every single time. Why don't literally send everybody every single pitch? Like I'm almost like for whatever reason they just haven't figured that out yet. Keep that a secret because people could run for days.
That's what
Juan Soto's 8 stolen bases away from 30-30. He could easily get that.
Juan Soto, pound for pound, like a guy his size, a slugger of his ilk, might be the best base stealer like ever. Like the fact that he's going to end up with. I just love the fact that when it's all said and done, even the runners in scoring position thing bothers me so much. They finally mentioned on the broadcast last night, Gary was saying he's reached base in like 11 straight appearances with runners on scoring position. Because while everybody has been hammering his batting average with runners in scoring position, which is admittedly very putrid, his on-base percentage was like 400 when he had guys in, so like it's not like he's not performing. You're not getting the big hits you want. I understand. But when it's all said and done, if he's approaching a 40-30 season where everyone complained, for a guy like me who's been calling out those people as idiots the whole time, it's going to be a very nice conclusion. If we make the playoffs and he has good numbers, like fucking idiots.
Well, that's the thing. It's like same with Vientos coming out of it. Nobody cares what he did for the last 6 months. That's all that matters is what are you doing now and what are you going to do when we get to the postseason? And like bats are just all coming together. I've been waiting for this all season long. of can we finally look how different the lineup just looks when one more guy is hitting the baseball. It's insane.
It pushes everybody down.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Also, Juan Soto, third in the league in runs scored. So there's like your things of runner and scoring position. He's getting on base, and guys are driving him in.
Boring,
The only
right?
two-
I don't care how it
Ohtani
happens.
and Judge. Those
Alonso?
are the guys ahead.
What is it? Who's it?
Ohtani and Judge. Those are the two guys with more runs scored than him.
So,
And they drive themselves in.
Right there with the absolute best of the best. And I don't care how it happens, the run production. Like, Pete Alonso's had a great fucking year. I don't think it's a coincidence. And if we were expecting Juan Soto to drive guys in, but instead he's getting on and getting driven in, I don't care, and neither should you, as long as you win baseball games. And yeah, Vientos, man, I've been saying it. For the first 5 months, he was Mark. He was just Mark. Like, the fact that he's Swaggy V, but like his real name is Mark, to me just always cracks me up. We're back to Vientos. We're back to the Swaggy. He makes all the difference in the world. And if you told me in the beginning of the season, like, would you rather have just Vientos be good the whole year, or let's say he stinks for the first several months and gets hot and carries you at the end? I almost want that guy who's going to be like the August and September story, and I'm praying to God it's Vientos.
By the way, that was kind of his story last year. I mean, he was definitely hitting better earlier last year, but he turned it on in the postseason, and that's what turned him into Swaggy V and like everyone.
Maybe that's who he is. Maybe he's a second half guy. Maybe
he's a big game player.
Yeah.
Like Phillies fans hate facing him.
Oh, he must be in their nightmares.
He puts the fear of God in the max.
Yo, and at what point, like, I'm always cautious, just with battered Mets syndrome. I never like to get too big for my britches, but like, there's a big fucking sample of Mets versus Phillies games in recent years, really, and this season where. The Phillies are a very good team that I don't want to like talk down on or poke the bear, but we got their number. Like we got their number, and that means a lot. Right now, we're 4 back, 4 to play, and we own the tiebreaker.
Yes.
And we're starting to get hot, and we're adding some new arms.
And they're losing arms. Zach Wheeler's out forever.
He actually might be out forever.
I know. That kind of sucks. I don't think some of the Phillies fans I spoke to, I don't think realize how much Wheeler was like, I'm out of here after this. And Tommy John, I mean, you're missing how many more years on his contract, Phil?
2 more.
Yeah.
Oh, so I thought it was like 3, and he's got 3 or 4. No. He's got to decide whether he wants to do the rehab and everything.
Yeah.
If you already said I'm retiring after this contract, why come back for 1 year? Maybe.
And it's also like, it was blood clot too related or
whatever. No, he's
going
to be after that.
Yeah.
There's just no reason to like fuck. You know what, Zach? Like, you take care of yourself, your health, your body, your family. Call it a day. You had a nice.
Well, jokes aside, too, it's like he was already ready to hang it up to go be a family man. It's like, you don't want to mess around with that.
Right. I mean, how horrible would that be if there was like something serious because you pushed it for 1 more season?
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I could see is like Phillies fans, and Philly wants a chip, and they've been close, and but I don't know. He seems to have really made up his mind. So I don't think Phillies fans realize just how bad of a situation that was. But I don't know, man. It's if the roles were reversed, I'd be looking in the rear view like, oh no, I've seen this before. I know how this ends. And the Phillies, while good, are still a franchise that are they're not like they have more of a history of being a loser than a winner. In recent years, no, but like it's not out of the realm of possibility for the Phillies to be a collapsing team. The way that we usually have been in the past. So it's gonna the table is set. I mean, it's still a lot of work. Like 4 games is not nothing, and you got to play, like you got to start right now. But the table is set for a very interesting 6 weeks.
They mentioned it in the postgame show where I think they have like the Phillies 76 wins or whatever it is. Like Schwarber's numbers are crazy, whereas this entire series he went 0-4.
Mm-hmm.
If there's just one guy that you need to pitch around where like it's Yankees-esque.
I was going to say, it's Everino. You got 1 good hitter. Schwarber will forever terrify me. Yep. Like, I mean, forever. And he's a guy I wanted the Mets to sign. When other teams were giving up on him, the whole time I was always scratching my head like, this guy is a fucking assassin. But he also is, you can get him out. It's not like an automatic thing. So he's in a weird spot where I will never, ever like, I'm always afraid of him, but it seems like we can navigate that as well. Oh, and we got to talk. I mean, if someone on the Mets were to wear red and white cleats and go into Philadelphia and and talk about it and call it my rivalry pack and say I'm wearing the other team's colors to get in their heads and then shit the bed like that and get swept and not perform. I almost want to see what would happen in New York. I would love to hear what Frank would do. I would love to hear the WFAN callers. I would love to see the back pages. I would lose my mind over that. That is one of the absolute lamest, most nonsensical, and like not backed up piece of trash talk I've ever seen in my life. What is that? I hope Philly is crushing him for that. It doesn't look good. It doesn't make sense. Yep. I've never heard of it. No one's ever done it. Like,
you can't do it in baseball. It's not like it's basketball or football where you can take over a game. Like, you could just have a shitty week.
Right.
That's exactly what they just did.
And even like maybe you hit a solo home run, but like it doesn't matter. Like you can even still play well and you can't control a game. So why?
I think he had 3 hits in one of the games too, and it didn't even fucking matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And it's like it just puts a bullseye on your back. And nobody, I mean, maybe he or Philly fans would, but nobody would be like, did you see Bryce wore Mets cleats and like hit the game-winning home? I don't even think people would have given him credit for that. So that was one of the more all risk, no reward type of moves I've ever seen. And I he's a weird one. Like, I feel like he's got a little bit of Pete Alonso in him where he's like kind of trying to do things a lot. Like he tries to make trash talking and like, that's like his persona. And he's great. He backs it up a lot of the time, but sometimes it just feels like a try hard move. And that was maybe the worst I've ever seen.
What was the worst call in your guys' minds? Doing that or causing a 19-minute delay for a microphone that's been in center field since 2017?
Bro.
What are we?
I was like losing. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, am I like a fever dream? Is this real life? I was like, how is this baseball game not resumed yet?
Yeah.
And then they're everywhere. Those are the parabolic mics are like everywhere.
And also see through.
You just I know. It's like what you just have to honor like a player complaint. An umpire can't be like, shut the fuck up.
I don't know.
We never really got an answer on that, right? Like. And
it was a 19-minute delay. 19 minutes
for a sport that already has problems. And like, if you were at the park, you must have been like, "What the fuck is going on?"
And thank God the Phillies folded like they did after that. Because imagine if they rallied off that, then they would have turned down to the rallying cry. Like, oh, the Mets can't win without their cheers. Like, no, we put that to bed. We turned it into our thing.
Yo,
Mets fans will never miss an opportunity to latch onto a gimmick.
Yeah.
The amount of parabolic mics that were in the stands the next night is crazy.
I was thinking that, man. And I know we're guilty of it too, because the gimmicks like started to work for a while with all of our fun shit in 24. So it was like, maybe it's Chanclas and maybe it's Pablo Sanchez. We got to pump the brakes on that. The same way Ryan Helsley can't play Hell's Bells. We can't be doing, games and gimmicks. I don't mind people bringing the parabolic mics because it's like a funny thing. But if you're trying to like make it our thing, if you're trolling them, like, look, we got them in the stands. I actually like that. It's a good and engaged fan base. But let's leave that. And
that's only playing Philly. Like we're breaking them out for
no.
Tigers. Like,
why didn't people even people went and got parabolic mics? How do you even get a parabolic mic? Order on Amazon? And was that I had 2 screens on at that point. Was that like he was saying it was eyesight thing, or was
it was like a glare that goes in his eye?
I wasn't sure if he was like a Astros thing, like he thought
it was hooked onto the railings of the batter's eye, right? But it was on both sides, and they were like, it didn't make sense anyway because the other one is actually in his eye line, and he was complaining about the other one. They were saying
it didn't affect him the first 4 when Senga just was loading the bases every fucking time. But no, it was after one double play, it's like, nope, gotta get those out of here.
He had a bad series after that too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
terrible plays in the field.
That's fucking juju for. I mean, a 20-minute delay is like unforgivable.
For Sanchez no hit them for 4 innings. NCR hitters talk about it.
Right. It's a great call. You know what? I want to talk about that Manaea start. Was interesting to me. What did you think of that Manaea start? Just like if you had to like,
it wasn't crisp. It was if he had to one more out to make it 5 scores, I would have taken it. But like it wasn't like an easy 5.
But so that's what I liked about it. I like it wasn't great, but that I'm so happy he came back and won that game because I really thought Manaea like battled. And that's almost what we've been missing is like when you're not crisp, these guys just implode and you got to get pulled in the 3rd inning. I really want, and at the end of the day, I look up and he still doesn't even get through 5. So I can't praise a guy who doesn't get through 5 innings. But it just felt like that I loved that game so much, man. That early on was like a pitcher's duel, but not like you're watching aces at work. It was just like low scoring. Nobody could push a run across. Minaya battling, working around runners. And I was hoping Sodo was going to come in and hold those runners on for him. And like, that just felt to me almost like a playoff game where it's like, these guys are great. They're going to get their hits, but we're going to battle through. And then the fact that they let those runners in kind of erased the whole thing. But I don't know, that actually gave me a little hope for Minaya of like, if he can battle, you're not going to be perfect. You're going to be lights out. But that gave me a little bit of hope in a weird way, even despite the fact that it wasn't a great start.
He was like 8 Ks through 4, I want to say.
Yeah.
When he's getting those swings and misses, like that's when he's going to be at his best because he isn't around the strike zone all the time. So if he's getting the batters to engage, like that's where he's going to be dominant. So if he gets back to that, this is like, in my mind, that was like a building block start.
Right.
He goes into that. He goes, okay, like I'm getting back to like what my game was last year and how I can go attack these batters, even though it wasn't as like the command's not there. He's not as sharp, but as long as you're getting those swings and misses, like that's what's going to propel him moving.
And listen, Philip, if we're asking him to be our 3 or our 4 behind McLean and Hong and maybe Senga, it's a big difference when you're not asked to be the ace.
Yeah.
David Peterson just always gets lost in the shuffle too.
I know.
It's like he's already been demoted to 3, even though he has the most quality starts on the team.
He's our all-star.
Bro, if there's a world where like Senga can pitch up to Senga's kind of maddening because there are times he's great and there's times he's terrible.
I wonder if they put him on the injured list or like do some sort of like reset to where like I don't know, maybe like rehab again. I don't fucking know. Like just like get him right.
Especially if the kids are going to be good and you don't desperately need an arm, maybe that's the move. But if there's a world where like the kids are good and then you have Peterson, Minaya, Senga to like round out, I don't know, that those kids make a big difference. If they're good, like all of a sudden those guys, you're not looking for them to be like, I mean, at the end of the day, you still have to pitch more than 4 fucking innings, whether you're a 1 or a 5, but could get interesting.
And there's still Sprout in AAA that's just waiting in the wings that could probably be here on Monday.
I honestly, I feel like if Tong works out, like call up the whole fucking farm. I feel like they're going to be like, everybody come on up, give it a try.
That'll be the best roster.
Somebody ranked us the #1 farm in baseball, right?
Kylie McDaniel, yeah.
Is that guy?
He's ESPN. He's like smart.
Notable? Okay. I mean, I never trust those things. Like first, how many prospects we've had flame out, and the real like final breaking point for me was Ahmed Rosario when it was like this is the #1 in all of baseball, and he just was never good.
Back-to-back years too.
Yeah, like he if he wasn't going to be then whoever would be. But it's nice to infrastructure, baby. If even people are saying that, you never know if these things pan out. But the fact that we're even in the conversation is a big turnaround.
And then almost as entertaining as the games themselves was the Phillies post-game report. Those guys hate the Phillies and more importantly, hate the Mets. They're ready for college football season. And with college football season, DraftKings got you covered. The rivalries, the marching bands, the upsets. Saturdays just got way more fun. College football is back. Think you know the game? Put your college football knowledge to the test with DraftKings Sportsbook and turn your picks into big payouts. We've got #1 Texas at #3 Ohio State. Basically a pick 'em. Ohio State's favored by 1.5. And Ohio State is a little distracted with some off-field rivalries themselves with our very own Dave. I know college football show is back tonight, so be sure to check that out. And check out the DraftKings Sportsbook app for live betting during the game and rivalry week odds boosts and so much more. DraftKings Sportsbook has everything you need to stay in the action from kickoff to the final whistle. Whether you're betting on your go-to team or making moves mid-game as the momentum shifts, sports Saturdays are for your own with DraftKings Sportsbook. Here's something special for first-time new customers. Bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BELIEVE. That's code BELIEVE, BELIEVE, for new customers to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
Those guys are between the I don't know their names, but that post game crew and then Brody's on Instagram, like Phillies content. I got to give it to them. They are crushing it. Probably not in the way they would like to be crushing it, but when you are on the right side of that, it is absolutely must watch. Those guys, who do they hate more, the Mets or the Phillies? Like, I don't know. I mean, I love how much people hate the Mets. It used to kind of bother me because I was always like, why? We're the most losingest franchise. Like, I know that now we have some money, but like we always shit the bed. I get if people are like laughing at us, that I understand. But the fact, like, we bother people. They like to beat us. They hate to lose to us. They talk down on us. And I never quite got that. I was arguing with Shane the other day, and I was like, why do you hate the Mets? And he's like, because of fucking people like you and all the Mets fans at Barstool. And I was like, all right, fair point. I get that. But like, I never, on the whole, it's like people don't scream and yell about like the Colorado Rockies and like hate them, and they seem to hate us like poison. I guess when you lose to us, if you think of us as inferior, it drives you nuts. But those guys, like, they should like manage the team or something. Like, I feel like those guys need to have a closed door meeting with their post game crew, and they can be like, "You guys fucking suck." They do not pull any punches, man. It's unreal.
I cannot believe that they have a relationship with the team
right
after crushing them night after night like that. And like, that's where in my mind, I'm like, that's why people like to watch Frank's videos and like the players in the locker room watching his videos after the game, because you love it when you're on the other side of it.
Oh yeah, big time.
Like, there's nothing more entertaining. You got people like finding like fake streams, the Philly like pirated streams, just to watch
their ratings
game show. It's amazing.
I would love to watch ratings. Let's 10:31 p.m. final pitch, final out. Boom, they just spike. That post game is like the biggest rated show in America after a Mets Phillies game. It's unreal. I mean, the players have to hate them, right?
Oh yeah, and we were saying like, our booth was getting shit from players a couple years ago of like, oh, they're being too tough on us. That means that they're going back and like DVRing the game to watch in between pitches to hear what they're saying.
Right.
Like, you cannot escape the post game.
Yeah,
it's everywhere, and people are tagging you in it of like, what are you guys doing?
But when you're right, it's one thing if you're being like, sometimes Frank is like, a lot of times Frank is irrational and making shit up or whatever. Everything they're saying is pretty goddamn true. No.
Yeah, like, we're in their heads. We're gonna be in their heads if we have to meet them in the playoffs. It's gonna be looming in their heads. Like, they've lost 10 straight games at Citi Field. Like,
dude,
it's what it is.
If that tiebreaker actually comes into play, I mean, if that was me, I would put a bullet in my head as a Phillies fan. That would be absolutely brutal. Those guys, though, are I love that. Like, I've had a couple meetings here and there with the Mets, and I would love, like, I always tell them I'd love to get more involved, like, as the future goes on, because I think there's a world where if you can make a franchise understand that it's entertainment, it's like wrestling in a way, and like there's heels and there's faces and there's criticism, and then sometimes, reality bleeds in and it's a tough truth, but it makes for a great product, all that sort of stuff. If you can really embrace kind of what Barstool's always done and what these guys are doing, where it's like you're being honest, and it comes from a place of, I'm obsessed with this team. I love them. I want them to do well. When they don't, it affects me. That's what you want as like a brand. If you think of your team as a franchise, as a brand, the more that franchises can embrace that going forward, the more entertaining their product will be. If you know how many other teams in sports have a situation where all the fans are rushing to an opposing team's post game. That, to me, is like a good thing. And I'm sure the players kind of hate it. And I'm sure the Phillies organization doesn't love it, but they should, because that's the kind of shit that makes it makes it entertaining. It brings more people in. And then when they are good, everybody wins. So I think I don't know if they think as far along the line as that. I think they're just like, I'm shooting, I'm telling it like I see it, and they stink. But I think it's great. We need more of that.
It also doesn't feel like the hot takes like WFAN radio.
No,
they're measured,
they
and
have
they're like,
stuff to back it up, and it's like they're just putting the megaphone on, like they're heightening the fans' fears of Philly, of like, yeah, they're talking just like I'm thinking in terms of like, wow, we are absolutely on a tailspin, and we can't figure out a way to beat the Mets.
All they had to do is win one game, and it's 6-up with like 29 to go. It's a massive difference.
The sweep, there's nothing. There's no bigger difference in sports than the difference of losing 2 out of 3 and losing and getting swept. It changes absolutely everything. Four games is like, you're a good week away from being back in it. Like even 5, like that number looks different. 4 to me is well within the range of like, well, you're battling for the division now.
Yeah, let's say we're
go ahead.
Let's say we're like 2 games back going into that 4-game set.
That's all you got to be. Yeah.
Then 3 out of 4, then you're tied after that.
Right.
I know it's like probably tough on like MLB for scheduling, but it should be like just a requirement that the last month and a half is just like in division head to head, like because that'll have the most movement, the most views, everything that you're looking for. It's gonna just increase the drama. Like,
and oddly, as a fan, a Mets fan, I would prefer that. As a franchise that like notoriously plays up and down to their talent level, like I am dreading this Marlins series. Dreading it. And I shouldn't. That shouldn't be the case. I should have been afraid of the Phillies series. Instead, I was like, all right, Phillies coming, let's go. And then I see Marlins on the schedule, and I'm like, oh, fucking no. What is it? So it's Marlins, Reds, Phillies?
Marlins, Tigers, Reds, then Phillies.
Tigers, Reds, Phillies. Marlins, Tigers, Reds. So a series that is against a team that we should beat and won't. A series against one of the best teams in baseball. Well,
Tigers haven't been good. Tigers haven't been good.
Say,
we're projected to miss Scooble, so that's not like a scary series.
I don't know. That does scare me for just Mets reasons. And then, the 2 teams that you need to really worry about. So it's probably the next 4 series are make or break. I don't think that's, a hot take or anything like that. This is it. It's go time.
The Marlins are playing good baseball. They're calling up all their young guys, which we were talking about before the show started. You hate to see the Marlins at the end of the season where they're going nowhere because then they call up these guys you've never heard of that just give you a headache over and over again.
I mean, how many times has like a no-name Marlins pitcher just thrown 7 scoreless against us? And it's like, what the fuck?
There's nothing you want to see less than a player making his major league debut for the Marlins against them.
That's it. I mean, bet like the absolute rent on everything if that's the scenario. How many times did we play the Marlins and Lindor would beat up on Sandy Alcantara and then, some no-name would shut us down. It's the most backwards shit ever. Dating back to the Henley Ramirez days. Oh, my God. Those teams just always bone us. It would be really nice to just handle business against the Marlins for like once in my 40 fucking years.
3 out of 4 at minimum. Like you can't. I'm not going to ask for a 4-game sweep. But 3 out of 4 at minimum.
You gotta, yeah. I mean, you absolutely have to. These if you're going to be a playoff team, you gotta win right now.
Phil, is there anybody on the Marlins we need to be on the lookout for as like a potential Mets killer?
I mean, Kyle Stowers, obviously. Like their all-star. Otto Lopez. Oh, Jacob Marcy's been on fire for the last like month or so since he's been called up. They got him for Luis Arias last year.
Right.
Agustin Ramirez, who's good. Like they're just annoying.
Well, honestly though, it really doesn't matter. Like no matter who here's the deal, and it's been the deal with this team for a while. Like if they play up to their potential, they will beat the shit out of the Marlins. I don't care who's on the right now, but it's just a matter of will they do it? If
our starting pitchers give us 5 good innings, we will win the game.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it.
Yes.
And the bullpen is, I mean, man, if Helsley could figure it out.
Stars on the IL, I'm off.
Oh, is he all right? Well, whatever. I was gonna say even better. If Helsley can like somehow figure it out or just become like not a complete negative, man, that bullpen is good. That is.
You know what hurts us too is that Reed Garrett's out. Like I feel like he would have been a guy who like just flip flop them and throw him into wherever Helsley was going to be.
And it feels a little bit like Sodo has run out of magic. So this is where like Stearns usually was good about riding somebody until they fall off and then slide another guy in. But in general, the fact that they have those arms, Rogers has been good. Diaz, of course, it goes a long way.
When Reed Garrett for 5 months, it was like, guys, there's a base runner on in the 4th inning. Here he is to come put up a fire. And it was every fucking night.
I hope Steve Cohen gives him a bonus outside of his contract. That guy has had just a hellish year. Like, what did he do? Did he fuck Mendoza's wife or something? He just put him in the worst spot always, man.
They really do set him up to fail. There's no one you want to see less than Reed Garrett with runners on base, and they just continually throw him out there to cash in those runs. It's insane.
And there's nobody I want to see more up at the plate with the bases loaded than Brandon Nimmo. That guy has the bases loaded. He's hitting a home run or getting a hit. It's absolutely guaranteed. That was awesome. That watching all that hit barrage, everybody hitting. It's one thing when you're doing it through home runs. The fact that the offense, everybody is clicking, everybody's hitting, getting clutch hits with runners in scoring position. And by the way, thank God it didn't end up mattering. That Lindor laughing, smiling, pointing to Harrison Bader, that even bothered me, let alone the Franks of the world. People were going to have a fucking meltdown if we lost that and Lindor's yucking it up. I get it. You were teammates. He got you good. It was a great play. But, like, I don't know. You don't need to do that. You can do that later. Not right. I mean, I to the point that I was confused. I thought he was like, oh, he must be safe and he's calling for a replay or whatever. It's like, no, I'm just happy that I got gunned down. That was not my favorite moment, I will say.
He did play that ball perfectly. Harrison Bader was he was the guy who like wanted to show us what we were missing. And we're like, no, like we did want you back. We just didn't have the funds to go and waste on you.
Yeah, that was definitely like, I'm going to put on a hot outfit to go to my ex-boyfriend's house sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, he did it. I gave it to him, but I just don't need Lindor being like, yeah.
I will say this. I think our Uno reverse card for this series, though, is that we have Tom going Friday night because he's going to be facing off against all their AAA guys, too. So it's like if he continues to dominate the way he was AAA, like we'll be fine.
It's a great point.
But there's nothing like a Sorry, what?
I said it's a soft landing spot for Tong. It's not like you're putting him versus the Phillies.
Right.
Ironically, but yeah.
The weather's breaking. We're getting into the 70s. It's nice to be at the ballpark at night. We got crisp fall night, and the ballpark is at the ballpark, and the Mets are playing their brand of baseball. But sometimes getting tickets can be brutal. So the Game Time app gives you the advantage back to the fans. It's the hack to unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in a few taps. It's incredibly easy to use, and the Game Time guarantee means you can trust to get 100% authentic MLB tickets on time and at the best price. Plus, the fees are always included, so what you see is what you pay. I was looking at the game for tonight for the Mets and Marlins. That's how you know the Mets are back and playing good baseball, because I was dreading watching the team at home for the past 2 months, and now I'm checking Mets tickets for a Thursday night. Right now, the tickets are starting at just $14. And in my favorite spot, which is left field, I don't know if you guys have sat there before. Best sight lines for me. It blocks the sun. You have the overhang if there's rain. Those are starting at $32. So take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code BELIEVE for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code BELIEVE for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it?
Game Time. Woo!
What else?
What do we got next? Look ahead. We got we did a look ahead. We talked
the first pitch last night, mascots.
That's right.
Oh, the mascots.
And Tommy Smokes were in their mascots outfits last night. They were all over the park throwing out the first pitch. I will say there was a decent amount of people who asked me if it was actually them, which is concerning, but also very flattering that, they thought that the boys were in the mix, like to that level. That's another thing, by the way, that makes me, these things are not the team's fault and every team's got to do it. But like, thank God you win on like Big Bird night, because you just look like such a fucking idiot when you're doing all those things and you get your dick kicked in. So I'm very happy when those little gimmick nights go well.
I know every team does them, but it does just feel like just because
every night for us, it feels like every night. I'm sure it's every night for every other team.
We have Stranger Things night coming up in like 2 weeks or whatever, like the upside down. Like if we, God forbid, we start losing again, we don't need the memes.
But you know what?
At our expense.
How can we get people to finally realize that it's like you loved Grimace because it was going well, and you hate the Beatles night when it's going poorly? It's not really the gimmicks. It's not the dance team. It's just whether the team is winning or losing. And not even that, bro. Watching the Phillies fans on social media actually gave me comfort, because I realized that if we were 5 games up, we'd be just as physically, mentally, and emotionally distraught. Like if you look at the comments underneath the tweets of the post games, you would think they're the team 4 games out and who had been playing bad for 4 months. I mean, people are like, this team sucks, they're frauds, whatever. So it's like, even if you're winning, especially I feel like if you're like an NL East team, one of these East Coast teams where it's like you live and die for baseball, you're never going to be happy. And it actually made me be like, okay, it doesn't matter whether we're 4 games up or 4 games back. It doesn't matter that we're in first place, second place. We had a good month, bad 4 months, good couple months to start. We're going to feel neurotic and upset and pessimistic until until your final pitch of the season, whether that's, early October or late October, we're going to be miserable. So don't get too upset about it. It's just is the way it is.
Lining up like eerily similar to like us in 2022, where it's like you're having a good season and then all it takes is like a couple bad weeks of like you're just looking over your shoulder and you're like, this isn't fun anymore. Like you win and you're just relieved, and then you back your way into even if we don't catch them and we just like wild card, whatever, like it just feels like you're backing your way into the postseason, which is never a spot you want to be.
Here's this is gonna sound stupid, but I genuinely believe this. I think best case scenario is we play well, don't catch them, win the wild card round. I think being like a hot team, and I still feel like sometimes playing that wild card round, as much as it's great to line up your rotation and rest some guys, teams that come in with a little bit of momentum, I feel like, and as long as you're playing well, you're not like limping to the finish line. I almost feel like that's like a better route. I could see that being better. You get cold, the Mets come in hot. I don't know. As long as they're playing well, I really don't care whether it's division or wild card.
Just get in. It's all that matters.
Get in, but be on the up. Don't like limp your way in.
Right. If they're getting their reps and like everybody's hitting, and because of the wild card, like now you're like building the momentum into whoever you're playing next. That's a lot better, especially like actually even more of a spin zone. It's probably even better for this team in particular because we're so up and down that if we are up and then we get a little bit of time off, I don't know if that's necessarily.
I'd rather ride it. Yeah.
Where it comes to that,
it feels a lot like last year to me. It was like the tiebreaker, or I guess not tiebreaker, but the doubleheader at the end of the year, like Lindor getting into the playoffs, the Pete home run, like that. If that doesn't happen, I don't think we roll in the DS the way we did.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just be playing well, have those heroic moments. You get some swagger, you get some you gel, and you roll into whoever's just kind of sitting there. Like, it's almost like if you're playing well and you have like some heroic moments in the wild card, it feels like a reward in a way. It's like, okay, we won the division and we've just been sitting here waiting. Great. These guys just had a 3-run home run walk-off, or not walk-off, but everyone's juiced, everyone's amped. It feels like it's more of a reward as long as that goes well. If you struggle or whatever, it's a different story. But baseball's a game of momentum, man.
Gotta believe.
All right, good stuff, boys. We'll catch you later.